The Falcon Knights going for it on fourth. Throw. Oh, and it's picked off by Nick Wilfong.
Breaks that up. Kelly Bartlett takes it, turns with it, looks upfield, sees Ellie Yeager, sends a beautiful ball. Ellie Yeager breaks in, gives a right foot top shelf goal.
Gators go to Ella Moses, and that's another kill for
Hand off to Bliss. He goes far side, makes a few men miss. He's still going. Out across the 50, 45-40, 35-30, all alone. 20, 15,
He's up
10.
the left-hand side. He's got help on the left by Dunn. He's going to take the shot. He makes it.
The up back. Gives it to Kaiser to the right side. Kaiser breaks it inside. Touchdown, Gators.
Points, Doug. Wow. I did not see that coming.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to a big week here in soccer for the Port United Soccer on the Gator Network. So we have two senior night games this week and a homecoming soccer game on the Port Allegany High School football field. Tonight we have the senior night boys soccer game versus the Northern Potter Panthers. The Gators are coming off a 3-0 win over Countersport on Monday, and prior to that they won 4-2 versus Eisenhower this past Saturday, where Justin Dunn scored 2 goals, the second of which was his 50th of his career. Quite an accomplishment. Micah Emmerich and Alex Schott also scored for the Gators that day, while Owen Kisler and Aiden Clark added assists. So the boys have come together to respond to a big setback that they had last week due to a season-ending injury to their captain, Austin Hamilton, who broke his clavicle bone in the game against Kane. And instead of this team breaking down, they seem to be bonding even stronger and figuring out different ways to win without Hammy on the pitch. But he's still there on the sideline supporting his team, and he is their captain. Port Allegany has a record of 4-2-0, and they are the first in District 9 1A soccer. Northern Potter has a record of 4-10-0, and these are unofficial records and standings, I want to note. However, I believe they're pretty accurate. Northern Potter Panther boys are coming off a big 4-3 victory on Monday against Ridgeway. The Panthers ended a 5-game skid that day, and they had goals from Owen Daniels, Ty Daniels, and Lillian Still. They had 2, in fact, by Owen Daniels. Port Allegany is looking to extend their current 7-game winning streak, and the last matchup between these two teams was in September, and it ended with a 10-2 victory for the Gators. The Gators, in fact, had 5 goals in the first half of that game. The Gators would like nothing more than to repeat of that, while the Panthers would love to pull off a major upset tonight. Tonight will be senior night for the boys, as I mentioned, and we have 7 seniors being honored tonight at halftime, so please join us for that. Tomorrow night, please join us for the girls' varsity soccer game against Bolivar Richburg. They will be here at the football field also, and that will start at 6 p.m. also. There's 3 senior girls being honored tomorrow night at 6 p.m. at the same bat channel and the same bat time. As both teams are getting ready to hit the pitch tonight, we'll take a short break and be back with you with the national anthem and the starting lineups in about 5 minutes.
The Falcon Knights going for it on fourth. Throw. Oh, and it's picked off by Nick Wilfong.
Breaks that up. Kelly Bartlett takes it, turns with it, looks upfield, sees Ellie Yeager, sends a beautiful ball. Ellie Yeager breaks in, gives a right foot top shelf goal.
Gators go to Ella Moses, and that's another kill for
Hand off to Bliss. He goes far side, makes a few men miss. He's still going. Out across the 50, 45-40, 35-30, all alone. 20, 15,
He's up
10.
the left-hand side. He's got help on the left by Dunn. He's going to take the shot. He makes it.
The up back. Gives it to Kaiser to the right side. Kaiser breaks it inside. Touchdown, Gators.
Points, Doug. Wow. I did not see that coming.
We're just waiting on the national anthem, and then we'll have the starting lineups, and we'll be getting this game started very shortly. So please hold with us. We'll go to the PA announcer.
Welcome to today's competition. The PIAA reminds
exhibition of skills developed by the students in an educational setting. Please give these students your positive encouragement and support. Booing, taunting, or intimidating the officials or opponents is unfriendly and unacceptable. A reminder that Port Allegany High School is a drug-free zone and that all drugs, alcohol, and tobacco are banned on school grounds. Now, if you could please stand and remove your hat for the playing of the national anthem. Panthers. Number 2, a senior, Wyatt Bliss. Number 19, a senior, Ty Daniels. Number 13, a senior, William Wright. Number 12, a junior, Lillian Steele. Number 31, and the keeper, a junior, Ian Gertson. Number 23, a junior, Ethan Hamilton. Number 21, a junior, Noah Caddy. Number 14, a sophomore, Owen Daniels. Number 1, a sophomore, Reese Elmadollar. Number 7, a sophomore, Dante Hooktalon. And number 24, a freshman, John Crawford. And now for your Port Allegany Gators. Number 20, a junior, Micah Emmerich. Number 3, a junior, Jared Funk. Number 10, a junior, Trey Kaiser. Number 2, a junior, Owen Kistler. Number 5, a senior, Jacob Clauser. 00 in goal, a senior, Aiden Clark. Number 9, a senior, Justin Dunn. Number 6, a senior, Skylar Pelchy. Number 1, a senior, Derek Smith. Number 24, a senior, Eli Voss. And number 11, a senior, Austin Hamilton. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the match.
Okay, welcome to the Gator Network. You just got the starting lineup. Coach Lawton, the girls varsity coach, is our PA announcer tonight, and that's the voice you heard announcing off all the starters for both teams. For the Gators, we have a graphic up on the screen just to repeat some of the starters that you heard. The goalkeeper is Aiden Clark. He is a senior. The back line tonight, they're going to run a 4-4-2 today, Dan, and Dan Funk will be helping me out tonight on the broadcast. My name is David Bartlett. I've got Dan Funk beside me. So, Dan, they got Aiden in goal. He's had a great season this year.
Yes, he has.
And they're running a 4-4-2 tonight.
Yes.
That starting lineup you heard, there was a little twist to that. You heard the back line, which is the standard back line with Pelchy, Emmerich, Kaiser, and Causer. And then you saw the midfield, which is pretty standard with Dunn, Smith, Kisler, and Funk. But the strikers that were announced tonight are 2 seniors that unfortunately got injured and are out for the rest of the season. That was Eli Voss and Austin Hamilton.
Yeah, so it's definitely an interesting dynamic to go out there with 8.
Yes.
It's really with only 8 on the field for
plus the keep. Yep.
Yep, plus the keep. But to be down 2 right away, and looks like they're going to be bringing in later Alex Schott and James after the kickoff.
That's correct. So that was on purpose by Mr. Clark, and it was out of respect for what these boys did. And then you see Potter doing the right thing there and kicking the ball right out of bounds so that we could make those substitutions in, and we'll have a throw-in to start this off.
And we're going ahead and Port Allegany's going to do the sportsman thing and actually throw it back to their defense so that Northern Potter keeps their possession, which is a very nice sportsman-like thing to do, to really show respect to these guys. And Dunn cuts off the pass, takes it up the left, looking to cross, takes it to the end line, crosses, sees James on the backside. That is broken up by NoPo. Now, it's definitely a mixture, not of having Hamilton out there in the midfield, but they appear to have Funk playing midfield, offensive mid.
Yeah, and the Gators have come away with 2 victories since that unfortunate injury to Austin Hamilton last week against Kane. They won against Eisenhower 4-2, and then they won against Countersport 3-0 on Monday.
And Funk just he was trying to kind of lead it in there, but he ended up hitting it with his arm and directing it. So correct call, and calling a handball.
So it is a little chilly tonight and a little windy, but the clouds seem to have cleared out for us just in time. And even though it is nippy, I would say it's still a great night for soccer here.
Oh, definitely. Clear, kind of cool. The players are really going to enjoy it because they're going to get warmed up from playing, and then they're won't feel overheated like they have been for the past month or so.
Probably have to give ample time for the people coming off the bench to get stretched out before they come in on a cold night. Stiffen up a little more than usual. That was kicked out by Owen Kisler. And Northern Potter's going to have another throw in. Number 24 for Northern Potter throws it in off of Funk's shoulder over to Causer. Causer sends it back over to Funk, and he sends it up the middle.
Alex shot there for it. Who dances a little bit around it. Through ball, trying to get it to James, but Dunn is tracking it down a little faster. And goes out, Gator throw in. Dunn gets it over to Shot. Shot drops it to Funk. Funk just not quite familiar with this field yet because this is the first time they've played up here.
It's got a little bit of a crown in it.
And a little bit of a crown, a little bit more bumps than our home field.
But honestly, Funk should know this field pretty good from being a dual sporter this year and playing football.
He should, but he's not used to having a round ball bouncing around on it. It's a very oblong ball.
That goes all the way to our back line.
NoPo chasing it down. Pelchi being very smart, trying to go up the outside of it instead of going up the middle. Owen chips it up. Yeah, our front line's going to have to play a little bit of play back a little bit more than they're used to without Hamilton back there who could control the midfield.
Shot takes it down all the way down the right-hand side. And clip back to James.
James trying to make it to the corner, tries to see an opportunity. Gets shut down a little bit.
Shaw has two on. He goes off. Was that off of their? No, it was not. It's a goal kick coming up for Northern Potter Panthers. So in the last game in September, Dan, we went to Northern Potter and we got up ahead in the first half 5-0. Ended up winning that game 10-2. I was saying in the pregame that I'm sure the Gators would love nothing more than to repeat that, and I'm sure the Northern Potter would like nothing more than to come away with a major upset here.
And definitely avenge that that loss. Because I know from past experience that's something that stings a little bit when you go up that big up against a team.
And Northern Potter is coming off of a win against Ridgeway now, where they scored 4 goals in that game.
And uncharacteristically, Funk puts it outside of the goalposts. In case you guys don't know, he is a kicker for the football team. But NoPo seems to be keeping it in.
Now, you will see females on the Northern Potter team because they do not have enough to field a varsity girls team, so they have a co-ed varsity soccer team here. And one of the players that actually scored against Ridgeway was Lillian Steele.
Smith threads it through his legs. Was able to save it. Gets it over to Shot. And it's broken up by NoPo. NoPo's actually playing some pretty good defense right now.
Shot's going to take this throw in.
Which is kind of surprising because both Causer, Funk, and Smith both have some big throws. But they opted to go short. Gets it into Funk. Drops it off to James. James, a little dribbler. Not enough on it. Gets it back to Shot.
Well, they're stacked in the box right now. I see 2, 4, 6, 8,
I see
10,
all of them.
10. Yep, you got all the players. So
And Funk.
there's Funk with a left foot. It just goes off of what, number 16? Or can't see the number down there. Went right off a Northern Potter player.
Definitely, that's a good strategy to crowd the box because then it puts a lot of bodies in there.
There you go. Funk with a throw in down to Dunn down in the corner. Let's see if Dunn can get a playable ball. He crosses over between the legs of Northern Potter player and then cleared out. They're stacked in the box right now.
And Port Allegany's obviously playing a little bit more defensively and has 3 defenders back.
Funk just stole that ball, but he's got 2 Northern Potter players right on him.
Get up to Pelche. Pelche lops it back to the front line, trying to get it for Dunn. Dunn threads 2 of the NoPo's players.
He can't seem to get it to the feet of Funk. Put it right to the feet of that Northern Potter player twice.
And there looked to be a little miscommunication between Kistler and Funk as he chipped it up to the corner as a through ball, and Funk was already on his way back. But NoPo is definitely, 8 minutes in, is definitely holding pretty strong with their defense.
We've got a goal kick coming up for Northern Potter. We're going to have another broadcast tomorrow night. Girls varsity team will be here on the football field at 6 p.m. against Bolivar.
And our announcer, Coach Lawton, is going to enjoy that game. Shot with a nice shield. Gets it up to James Dunn on the corner.
Shot overlapped him, came into the corner. They kick. Potter clears it out of bounds. Throw in coming up. Shot to take it. He's going to go short to Dunn.
Dunn crosses the Funk. Funk tosses it out. Left foot. Shot. And
hey, we got a goal.
Right corner panel.
Jared Funk with the goal.
That really was a nice cross over to Funk. And he did have an extra little touch on it. Actually, 2-touch it in. Yeah, the keeper has they chose the side of the field very wisely because the sun is obviously setting and it could be in the way of the keeper's eyes.
How about these new goals and the nets that our athletic director, Mr. Clark, was able to get, and Coach Clark there was able to get for the football field here?
Definitely. They look really nice, really sharp. Shot drops off to Smith. Smith chips it up for a through ball, but the defense for NoPo is there. Trey Kaiser comes up and chests it over to Funk. Funk through ball to Shot on the left-hand side. Crosses it, trying for Kistler, but no joy.
Corner kick coming up.
Yeah. Smith going to attempt it. Now, one thing I do witness a lot of times is the people who are taking the corners are able to actually get it into the box, and then most times it goes through the box. So sometimes you need a garbage pickup, kind of like that one. And that goes out of bounds, and NoPo ball. NoPo gets it up, crosses it. Nice back drop.
Through ball up the right-hand side. Pelche's there.
Tries to save it, unsuccessful. And got a handball by Kistler. So it's a direct kick for NoPo.
This is their first opportunity to get a ball on goal. Aiden Clark pointing out where he wants everybody at, so he has a clear view.
And he has only one person in the wall.
Ball's low. Aiden Clark comes up, gets the bounce right into the chest, drops down on it. He'll walk it up to the 18. Nice punt. Past midfield. Good bounce.
Dustin opted to let it pass by. Nice heading passing by Funk and Dunn. And there was a collision between NoPo and Funk.
No call.
No call, because it looked like they were both just going for the ball and wasn't paying attention where either was going. But NoPo playing it up. Causer is able to cut it off. Gets it up to James. James tries to through ball it. unsuccessful because NoPo's there to break it up. Smith tried to do it also, but Port Allegany really is trying to go through the NoPo defenders and not around them.
Ball up the right-hand side, a little hard, out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in coming up. Oh, they're going to say it's for White? Is that the signal?
Yeah,
also?
that is definitely it for White because
I thought that went out on White.
I thought it did too, but we're not down there on the field to be able to see it exactly.
Nope.
NoPo goes to the corner. Micah Emmerich tried to clear it out, but hits it and skips across. But Clark is there to smother it and get the defense reorientated.
All these great camera shots are being brought to you by our volunteer in the Gator Network, Jeremy Morey. So we really appreciate Jeremy taking time out of his day to come up here and run the camera for us tonight.
And brave the cold wind up there.
How about it?
This is one of the few times where I'm not up there running the camera.
Well, don't worry, Dan. We got 3 more broadcasts this week.
I know. Holden is able to track it down. The NoPo takes it away, crosses it. Emmerich kind of mishits the clear, but gets it up to Kaiser. Kaiser's dribbling it because he doesn't have pressure. But NoPo is able to break it up. Funk with the turn. Sees Dunn.
Nice ball.
Nice through ball. He steps over. He has a defender creeping up behind him.
He's got to drop to shot if he wants to get it there. He tries to cut it back in. He falls down. He gets back up. He now sends it to shot. Shot's going to take a right-hand shot right at the goalkeeper.
He had a window just to that right side, but he opted to go left instead. And a miss punt goes out of bounds back to the Gators.
So that was Justin Dunn, number 9 there. That's the one I spoke about in the pregame. He had 2 goals against Eisenhower, and his second one ended up being his 50th career goal of his career here. That's a big accomplishment.
Yes, it is.
And he almost gets to get another one.
And
he gets another goal for Justin Dunn.
And Alex Schott was trying
Done with the goal.
was trying to sneak it in there and kind of steal it, but I don't know if he did.
No, I think Schott saw that was going in, and he said, "Courtesy, we'll leave that to Justin."
Okay.
Justin's the senior now, and Schott's just the junior. No, that was very.
That was a nice throw in for Smith, as it kind of threaded in between the defenses.
How was that for queuing Dunn up?
I know. Well, that makes it 2-0 with 25 minutes left to go. Schott gets it to Funk. Back over to Kistler. The Gators really do like to do possession games. And get it over to Holden.
Good freshman Nance makes a nice move. Sends a ball up to Schott.
Schott able to steal it away from the defender.
There we go. Here's a shot on goal, short side. It's loose. Cleared out by Potter, Northern Potter.
Schott was able to get a recovery shot on that, but the goalkeeper made an outstanding save for a second time. Gets it out of danger. Funk trying to get around players, gets it up to Nance. Nance tries the through ball to Dunn, but deflected over to Schott. Schott then gets it up to Dunn. NoPo tries to get it back up. They pulled all 10 back again.
Nance drops it to Funk. Funk sends a switch ball all the way to the right side. He was trying to get it over there to Owen or to Smith. Kaiser got it. Sends a ball up in the corner to Smith. Smith tries to cross it in. Unable to connect. Potter carries it up the line. Got a through ball up to the side there. He doesn't have any help. He's all by himself. There's a trip. Do we have a whistle? We do.
Yep.
We'll have a free kick coming out. Is it going to be a direct here?
No, it is a direct.
Okay.
It's kind of a risk there for NoPo to pull so many people
Nobody's
back.
up at the 18, but one player. Here come another 2. So you got 3 up at the 18, 1 back.
Well, they have to stay about 10 yards back, so the wall opted to be a little bit further back.
Well, I was talking about Potter.
Oh.
They only had 1 up on the 18 for that.
Yeah,
they brought up 2 more.
They seem to be playing a lot more defense, and that's kind of the double-edged sword there, is that you play so much defense that if you play 70% of the defense with all your players back on that side of the field, you try to make those offensive runs. The offense just gets exhausted for those strikers.
It looks like Dunn's going to take the throw-in for the Gators here after some substitutions. You got Brock Marsiglio coming in for Holden Nance.
Yeah. And Dunn gets it into Funk, short. Funk drops it down to Kistler. Or Kaiser, not Kistler. Gets over to Kaiser. Up to Smith. Smith tried to do a little flick, not able to get it around NoPo's defender.
He can do a big throw-in, and he does all the way in the box.
One bounce to Dunn.
Dunn's going to take the shot with his left foot. Sends it wide left over top of the crossbar. We'll have a goal kick coming up for the Panthers. Nice opportunity there.
Well, yes, it was.
All started from that big throw-in from Smith.
Yeah, having the capability to have 3 big throw-ins is really good for the Gators because it throws so many pieces of offensive play sets into it.
So a little later in the match, I'm going to give you some good information from a quick interview with Coach Clark on how the season has progressed and what he's looking forward to in the playoffs. And he gave us some great information, shared a lot with us. And then also a halftime with those 7 seniors. Coach Clark has been with them all the way since youth soccer. So without getting emotional, Clark did give me some good information on that too for the boys at halftime. So we'll share all that with you throughout the broadcast.
Yeah, it's also kind of bittersweet for me too because these seniors and juniors, I actually coached in junior high for Port Allegany.
That's right. I remember that.
It's definitely really bittersweet to see them grow into what they have become here from what I used to know them as. It was kind of nice to just be able to hand them off to Clark and at the time, Coach Lawton, who actually sitting next to me. He had ultimate faith for them to keep making them grow and feeding them the right nutrients.
Yeah, a soccer program from the youth all the way up really does take a village. It starts really early on. A lot of volunteers get involved all the way up through. Obviously, the coaching advances as you get up through the ranks, but even at the younger ages, I have an 8-year-old right now playing over at the church in a soccer match that my wife is coaching. So,
yeah, it definitely is organized enough to make sure that the kids keep the enjoyment of it, the fun of it at that young age. And then once they get older through the levels, they actually can do some more interesting things, more techniques. And you're starting to see that blossom here with these guys as they've come up through the program. And a lot of these kids have played with each other the entire time. Causers, what I would say with the only exception is he just started playing this past year. So he's definitely kind of new to that soccer mix, the soccer gel.
I would definitely say my wife did not know how to spell soccer 15 years ago, and now, she's over there trying to teach these young kids triangles.
Yeah, the same thing with my wife. She looked at it and goes, "Did they make a basket?" And the explanations of no, that is a different sport.
Now they're salty veterans.
Mm-hmm. Yes, they are. Nice back and forth play right now between Port Allegany, and Port Allegany is definitely swapping in and out their players to give them some rest.
Yeah, Smith just came back in, right?
And done.
Yep.
So now it looks like the starting 11 is back out there. Kistler gets it to Funk. Funk looks for a through ball. Deflected off over to James. And that went off Port Allegany.
There'll be a Panthers throwing coming up. Do a short throw up the line, but they're going to have a illegal throw in, I believe. So, yeah, that's a legal throw, and it's going to be Gators throwing it in from the same spot. There's James up to Shot. Shot tried to slap it over to Dunn. Goes off a Northern Potter player, then off James out of bounds.
Yeah, NoPo was able to save it. But Port Allegany there to break it up again. Dunn almost got through. That's the one tough thing about soccer, just the constant back and forth play that happens.
It's one of the toughest sports to call as far as play-by-play.
Oh, I agree.
It's a lot different than football. But I love it.
Oh, I do too. And I got a third comment from a third agreement too from Coach Lawton.
And James trying to keep that in, unable to get there. Panthers throwing, far side.
The Panthers are definitely starting to gel a little bit more into their play.
I think they're settling in a little bit here. What are they playing right now?
It looks to be more of, it looks close to a false nine almost. It's more of an advanced play, but it's more of where you don't play with strikers, but because the strikers kind of fold in quite a bit, so it's difficult to say, but it looks closer to a 4-4-2, but sometimes a 4-3-3.
I think it's making shape right now. It looks more like a
4-3-3.
Yeah. Nice goal kick up around the 35-yard line on the football field, but you got to remember there's another 10 yards in the end zone. So,
and Funk, nice little drop over to Kistler, over to Shot. Shot just mistouches that just a little bit. NoPo heads that around real nicely. Pelchi.
Nice ball up to Smith. He's got one to beat. Takes it up the line. Tries to cut it back in.
And Pelchi and Causer decided to switch fields. Obviously, they identified an issue, and then they chose to try to work to someone's strengths. NoPo tries to thread it through. Causer there to break it up.
They did have some numbers there. They had 4 in line.
Causer trying to make a run. Funk opting to fill the hole and go back in.
Smith calls off Causer. Causer will drop back. Smith to throw it up to Shot. He gets it there.
Shot looks to see what's happening. Has help come over from NoPo. Gets over to Kistler. Kistler drops it to Dunn, to Funk. Nice little two-touch passing happening. Dunn trying to shake some people. He does, but gets it over to Smith. Kistler sees James on the outside. James trying to look for help. Gets Kistler. Kistler back over to Dunn.
Good ball movement.
Dunn horizontally right across to Smith. Smith looking for a shot. He takes one just left. NoPo keeper definitely had that well tracked down.
Another goal kick coming up. $14 minutes left in the first half, just over 14 minutes left in the. Be a short goal kick here. Dunn's going to try to come up and press. So is Shot. Shot's going to get to the ball.
Funk able to chest it down. Tries to flick it over to Kistler. NoPo's there to break it up. Threw ball up, but Emmerich is there to break it up. NoPo steals it back. Threw ball in. Clark comes out of the goal to collect it. And that ball goes off of Smith's head. And we got subs coming in for NoPo.
Looks like they got a deep bench over there.
They had definitely got some reserves. And that ball goes off of NoPo. Smith opts to drop back to Kaiser. Kaiser up to Kaiser. To Funk. To Kistler. To Dunn. Dunn tries to throw ball over to James. Their keeper comes out. James avoids him. That was a nice, pretty little connection piece of one-touch passing.
Oh, a throw-in coming up for the Gators. After some substitution, Smith goes out. You've got Duke Shelley coming in. I don't know if I've seen Duke in the midfield like this before this year. So.
He played a little bit in the Kane game. And I think in Punxsutawney too. But mainly to the outside or he was normally a winger or a striker. Dunn trying to thread it in for a shot. No good. Goes out of bounds. And
Gators ball. And all the way up from the back is going to be senior Jake Kaiser coming up to take this throw in. He definitely has the range to get it all the way in the box.
Yes, he does.
All the way to the 8. And that's where he goes.
He throws it directly to the keeper.
Yeah.
For those at home, you cannot actually score directly from a throw-in. That is considered an indirect, which is, we have seen that in the past. Actually happened 2 times last year, where an opponent actually tried to throw it into our goal. So it's definitely an interesting thought when that comes out. Funk trying to beat him.
Shelley keeps it in.
I'll have to drop it back.
Yep.
Shelley.
He's the freshman.
And he had 3 NoPo players bearing down on him.
I believe that ref on the near side to us is Shannon Yeager. It's his first year of reffing this year, and he is the principal at Brockway High School. And he also has a daughter that goes to Smethport and plays on our Port United girls team.
Oh.
Her name is Ellie Yeager.
Okay.
Good to see Shannon out there.
Funk, quick throw in. Funk has been nursing a shoulder injury, so he hasn't been taking quite as many big throws. It's kind of the reason why he's more been opting for Kaiser or Smith to take him. Funk up to Shelley with the through ball, gets it to shot. NoPo able to break
that's
up.
all the way up in the stands there. That goes all the way up to Derek Smith's father. Journey Wilmoth got that ball in the stands. So now we have Jake Kaiser throwing it in. He goes short this time to Funk. Funk back to Kaiser. Kaiser over to Shelley. Shelley back to Kaiser. Kaiser looking upfield to Dunn. Dunn one-touches it to Funk. Funk's going to cut it back in the middle. Then he sends a ball down in the corner to Dunn. Dunn's going to dribble, cuts over right, then sends a shot in, goes off a Potter player, and that, I think, is going to be a corner kick because that went right to the flag, right?
That is going to be a corner.
Yeah, so a shot's going to come up and take this corner.
And Nance comes in, Funk comes out.
Could they be any difference in height profile there between Funk and Nance?
It's possible. Last I knew, he was still grown, according to my grocery bill.
Oh, for your son. There's a ball all the way through to the backside, out of bounds. Goal kick coming up for the Panthers.
2 minutes, 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 2 And that's where
Second one of those, right? Second time that's happened
second
to them?
time through ball. There's just no one over there because every time they think someone's going to get it, and so far, no one actually does get it. And some goals, I remember Austin Hamilton used to be over there on the backside as a garbage pickup, and he scored a few goals because of that. I guess it was just him being in the right place at the right time. Dunn gets it up to Nance. Nance and Shelley kind of collide a little bit. Nance gets up.
I know nobody wants to be down 2-0 with 8 minutes left in the first half, but like I said, the last game, the Port United was up 5-0 at halftime. So the Panthers should keep their chin up here, and they're still staying in the game. It's still anybody's game right now.
Without a doubt. Because we've seen it. It can turn real quick. And long ball for NoPo. Clark is easily able to come out and get it.
Our clock on the screen is not the official clock. It's a little different. We try to keep it up to date as much as possible. It's 7:57, so it's aligned right now. Just under 8 minutes left in the first half.
And Emmerich tries to let the ball go out and does, even though I'm not sure if
I
that
thought
did.
that was going to be a corner kick for the Panthers there because I thought Micah touched it before it got all the way across the line. But
Well, it looked a little bit like it wasn't all the way across the line.
Right, it was still touching.
And that's another unique thing about soccer versus other sports. If a ball is on the line, it's out of bounds. In soccer, it has to be 100% over the line for it to be out of bounds. And I think that's our first goal kick we've had. But NoPo's able to bring some offense and put a little pressure on us.
Not used to having help on the soccer games. I guess I could have been jotting down some stats. Usually don't have the opportunity to do that. Panthers had an opportunity there.
Nice little shot, but broken up by Causer, having to be just in the way. NoPo's able to collect the clear.
They got numbers. They got 5 up there.
Kistler's coming back to help. Funk has come back into the game, and he steps on the ball and trips over his own feet. Kaiser able to clear it back up, and NoPo's there once again to collect it. They're definitely bringing a lot more pressure right now.
Mm-hmm. As they should. That's a nice ball.
Nice little through ball. They had an opportunity there. Kaiser able to get clear.
With 4 back for Port right there behind that, it might be worth it to just take a rip there from about 20 out.
Yeah, and Smith takes a huge launch.
Dunn's going to cut in front of him. Take the ball away. Ball's still loose. They're going to have a PK coming up. We're going to have a foul in the box with a PK. They said stop the clock.
Yeah, the defender thought the goalkeeper was going to come out, so he laid up and didn't continue pressing it. Dunn kept charging it, and he was able to capitalize on the opportunity and get around.
So with 6 minutes left in the first half, we're going to have a penalty kick. Dunn never gave up on that.
No, he did
not. He kept coming at it, and he cut right around in front of the player.
And Micah Emmerich comes up from the defense to take the PK.
He had one a couple games ago, nice one. He tends to go low. He tends to put it in the corner low, especially on tall keepers.
Well, 5 years ago, he was the other way around. He skied it every time. And
that one is nice, right over top of the goalie's head. I'd like to replay that one if I can get a replay of that. So we'll go to a replay here. Here's the replay coming up. See Micah take that, goes right over that right arm.
And the keeper thought he was going to go left, and that's why he seemed a little off balance. And that makes it 3-0 with 6 minutes left in the first half. Funk able to slide tackle and get it up to the midfield, but NoPo able to bring it back. Funk able to get it up even further.
Micah doesn't quite clear that all the way out of bounds, so Potter's able to catch up to it. Doesn't have a lot of help.
James able to knock it off a NoPo player. Substitutes come in. We have Bartlett coming in for Dunn, and Marsiglio comes in for James, it looks like.
Yeah, that is Brock Marsiglio over on the right.
Brock trying.
Owen.
Yeah, Owen Kistler trying to track it down. NoPo is able to capitalize.
They got some good position here.
Emmerich able to break it up.
So Panthers will have a throw in. We got one sub coming out here.
Yeah, the Panthers look like they've kind of gone into a diamond formation almost further back to bring a little bit more offense.
That ball's going to get all the way up to center. Punched back in by Potter. Northern Potter, that is.
And Northern Potter slips. Funk able to take it away. He's taken off. No pressure being given yet.
He sends the ball up to shot. Is he onside? He is. He's going to take the shot. Oh, it goes off a Northern Potter player out of bounds.
He had the great defensive play by that Northern Potter player.
Yes, it was.
Just getting his
leg
out
there. He opened his leg up just in time on that. His far side leg there, his left leg got on right on that ball. We'll have a corner kick coming up, and Schott will take it. Schott did a good job holding himself to that back line.
Yes, he did. It was just the right timing, too. Schott takes
off of Caden Bartlett's head, dribbles up and cleared out.
Kaiser kicks it out to Smith, lets it go to Schott. Schott calls up a play. Couldn't get to it, Kistler. Deflected. NoPo tried to get it out.
Smith takes a shot. It's going to be a field goal through the uprights. So we'll have a goal kick coming up for the Panthers.
Yeah, we have about just over 3 minutes to go. Once again, the clock on your screen is not the same. It is not the game clock.
Fairly close. 10 seconds off.
Yeah, fairly close.
And those 3 games we got coming up after this week. One's tomorrow night, as I mentioned, the girls play Bolivar right here on the high school football field. And it's their senior night also. And that game starts at 6. Saturday morning, we have a soccer game here on homecoming day.
Yes, we do.
Right here on the soccer field, bright and early, 10 a.m. And there will be breakfast sandwiches served at the concession stand that day. So please do come out for all these games.
Enjoy the show that we see.
And then after that soccer game, we'll have a short intermission. Whoa, we have a collision right in mid. Those scare me a little bit now after watching Austin last week and Kane.
Yeah.
Kisler sends it right up the field. It's going to get through. Brock Marsiglio chasing it down, unable to get there. They're going to call it Gator ball, though.
Yes, they did.
Gator throwing.
Brock gets it into Funk. Funk looks for a shot and just goes wide.
So the other game after that intermission is that football game on Saturday. It's just a regular homecoming game, right?
Yeah, just their normal homecoming game.
So kind of a big deal here.
Yeah.
Football in this area obviously is the #1 sport. And we have a game against Kane at 1:30 p.m. here, and that'll be broadcast on the Gator Network. That'll be our homecoming game.
Yes, it will. And Funk and Kaiser are going to have a very long day because they dual sport. Football is their primary, but they will be here for the soccer game and also for the football game. Oh, I was just correctly by Coach Lawton that it is actually the girls' game, not the boys. I thought it was the boys were playing.
No, the boys played last year. We alternate every year on homecoming day, and last year the boys played, and this year it'll be the girls. And the girls will be playing Eisenhower. And that team took the girls to overtime in Eisenhower earlier this year, and that game ended 2-1 with a golden goal there in OT.
And Schott trying to get the through ball, chase it down, does. Gets it over to Bartlett. Bartlett gives it over to Marsiglio. Through ball back to Schott. NoPo's able to break it up. Bartlett tracking it back down again. Back to Marsiglio. And it'll be a... And that is the half as the time ran out. And the officials who keep the official time have called it for halftime.
So we're going to have some halftime festivities here with Senior Day. The parents are getting lined up over there. I see them. And we have 7 boy seniors today. They'll be coming out. Before they do come out, I'll just throw up a graphic here of what some of them used to look like then and now. So you can see here, I don't know how well you can see this graphic, but on the top left there, that is Mr. Clark, Coach Clark.
How much time? 15
And just beside him there is his son, Aiden Clark, which is a senior. And on the right-hand side, that's Aiden Clark 00, the goalkeeper there. And there's several kids here. Derek Smith's there, just to the right of the goalkeeper in the top left shot. And then Derek Smith's to the left of the goalkeeper on the right-hand picture. So these boys have been with Mr. Clark for a long time, and he said to me, I don't have any particular funny stories, but I'm rather sappy and sentimental guy, especially as I'm near the end of his coaching career. So he said this group of seniors, boys and girls, are the first group of athletes that he's coached all the way through youth soccer from U6 level to varsity. So it saddens him to see them all move on after this season, as he has spent an incredible amount of time with them on the soccer field. So the boys will be getting over here. We're going to go to the PA announcer.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Port Allegany.
Senior night for the boys. First up, we got Skylar Pelche. Skylar's the son of Ryan and Crystal Pelche. He has played soccer for 4 years, lettering 3. He also plays baseball. His future plans include working with his dad. Where do you see yourself in 10 years, Skylar? I see myself working and having a family. His best memory is scoring his first goal as a defender. And his advice to teammates is to live every day like there is no tomorrow. Give it up for Skylar Pelche. Next we have Austin Hamilton. Austin is the son of James and Connie Hamilton. He has played soccer for 4 years and lettered all 4 years. He was a 22 and 23 UAVSL All-Star. He lettered in track 3 years and basketball 1 year. He's also a member of Peer Helpers and the National Honor Society. His future plans include finding a job that he enjoys. Where he sees himself in 10 years? With friends and loved ones. His best memory is when both of our first 2 games of the season in overtime his sophomore year. Both times the whole team ran onto the field and there was nothing better than celebrating with his friends. His advice to his teammates is to find a way to enjoy the hard work you put into sports and enjoy the process. Austin Hamilton. Next up, Derek Smith. Derek is the son of Lewis and Tracy Smith. He's played soccer for 2 years, lettering both years, and captain. He's also played baseball. He's a member of the National Honor Society, Enrichment, Student Council, and varsity club. His future plans include playing baseball in college while getting a degree in civil and architectural engineering. Where does he see himself in 10 years? He sees himself building his own house, starting a family, owning a dog, and working. His best memory is beating ECC at the end of last season. His advice to his teammates is play every moment like your last. Be the positive and welcoming person on and off the field, and keep your hands to yourself. Derek Smith. Aiden Clark. Aiden is the son of Aaron and Jessica Clark. He's been in soccer for 4 years, lettering 3. He was also a league all-star. He lettered in soccer 4 years and track and field 3 years. He has been in the marching band for 5 years, drama club for 3 years, spring musicals for 3 years, the PMEA district band, choir 2 years, and jazz band 4 years. His future plans include going to Pitt for geology. Where does he see himself in 10 years? He sees himself as a geologist and going on walks and hikes in nature. His best memory is beating ECC in a district playoff game last year. His advice to his teammates is to go for a run. And when you feel like you have run enough, run another mile. Aiden Clark. Jacob Causer. Jacob is the son of Chris Causer. This is his first year playing soccer. He's also played football 4 years, lettering 2 of those years, basketball 4 years, lettering 2 years, and baseball 4 years, lettering 4 years. He attends the CCC for building and construction. His future plans include joining the National Guard, allowing him to serve his country while also attending Penn Tech to become an electrical engineer. Where does he see himself in 10 years? Living his best life outside of Pittsburgh with a wife and a couple of kids. His best memory is scoring 4 goals in a spring soccer match his first year playing. His advice to his teammates? Learn to love yourself first so you can love the things that matter and the people that are important in your life. Jacob Causer. Justin Dunn. Justin is the son of Jeff and Jeanette Dunn. He has played soccer for 4 years, lettering all 4 years, and earning an offensive MVP award. He participates in track and field and receives 2 letters. He is also a member of the Erie Flash Soccer Club. His future plans include attending a 4-year college for business economics and continuing to play soccer. Where he sees himself in 10 years? Hopefully playing more soccer and enjoying life. His best memory is beating Bradford in junior high. His advice to his teammates? Enjoy every moment you get on the team and play more. Justin Dunn. Eli Voss. Eli is the son of Linda Fetter. He's played soccer for 4 years, track for 2 years, and competitive swimming for 2 years. His future plans include attending college for at least a bachelor's degree in a field relating to computer science and continue playing soccer. Where he sees himself in 10 years? Alive, working, and in an apartment, not in the country, he hopes. His best memory is the beginning of practice one year. Everybody was taking shots on net, and someone decided to walk directly into the net while people were taking shots. He shot a ball and it hit both the goalie and a person in the face before rolling into the goal. His advice to his teammates? Take your health seriously before consequences can happen. Eli Voss. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your Port Allegany United boys seniors.
The Falcon Knights going for it on fourth. Throw. Oh, and it's picked off by Nick Wilfong.
Breaks that up. Kelly Bartlett takes it, turns with it, looks upfield, sees Ellie Yeager, sends a beautiful ball. Ellie Yeager breaks in, gives a right foot top shelf goal.
Gators go to Ella Moses, and that's another kill for
Hand off to Bliss. He goes far side, makes a few men miss. He's still going. Out across the 50, 45-40, 35-30, all alone. 20, 15,
He's up
10.
the left-hand side. He's got help on the left by Dunn. He's going to take the shot. He makes it.
The up back. Gives it to Kaiser to the right side. Kaiser breaks it inside. Touchdown, Gators.
Points, Doug. Wow. I did not see that coming.
Welcome back here to Port Allegany High School football field. We got the second half of the boys varsity soccer game between Port Allegany and Northern Potter. The Gators took a 3-0 advantage here going into the second half. At halftime, we had festivities for the 7 seniors from Port Allegany. It was their senior night. And Coach Lawton, our PA announcer tonight, did a fabulous job on the bios and the readouts for those seniors. So hopefully that was memorable for them and their families here tonight. And they can always go back and watch it here on the Gator Network at any time. We switch sides this time. The Gators are in their home black uniforms and Northern Potters in their white jerseys. Dunn has it down on the far right. He gets past 2 defenders, splits them. He tries to send a ball into Funk. It bounces, takes a big bounce up, misses his foot, and cleared out by Potter out of bounds. We'll have a Gator throw in. Dunn's going to take a shot. Goes right to the keeper on the near post. He picks it up. He'll come up and punt that ball up the right-hand side. Gets it up to almost midfield. Cleared out of bounds. We have another throw-in for the Panthers. They throw it far down the right-hand side, all the way down the line. It's still in. They got a player chasing it down, and it was cleared out by Micah Emmerich out of bounds. So they'll reset here. And the Panthers will have a throw-in deep down in Gator territory. So, Dan, that was a pretty good first half there. It was, it wasn't as good as the last time they played them, but overall, there was a lot of good things to talk about on the Gator side. I thought the passing and finding feet down there on the offensive end was really good. The touches were good.
The possession was really good.
Yeah. A good ball control down there.
Little long ball from Smith up to Shot. Shot on the wing, drops it off to Dunn. Dunn has some people waiting for help. Sees Funk a little ways away. Crosses it. Funk turns it back. Takes a shot. No good. As the keeper was able to come up with it.
See, now he can't score with his left foot right there. But you know the other night, he scored with his right foot, and it was a really decent goal on his right foot.
Yes, he did.
That was in Countersport.
Yeah, I saw a clip of it. I wasn't able to make that game.
It was a good shot. I was there. It was a cold night that night. Yeah. Not too unlike tonight. I really want to thank Jeremy Morey, who is up there bearing this cold. He is all bundled up there, gloves on, everything. He's got wool socks on.
And those little heaters. Shot by NoPo. Clark is able to save it. But he's got those little disposable heat hand warmers.
So he's up there. He's He's bearing the weather and giving us these great shots tonight from the camera up top on the roof.
NoPo making a few connections here. Emmerich hits that. Kistler's able to come up with it, but NoPo is able to collect it. Shot again, and just wide.
I think that was the first one that got Aiden Clark's heart beating there a little bit.
Yeah, and definitely. He was not comfortable with that. He was a little bit late getting out to it. And I was a little late because my family didn't bring umbrellas down. So, because it's starting to drizzle out there. And, of course, they're sitting out in the cold on these bleachers. And
I could hear you huffing and puffing when you came back, but appreciate you coming back.
I was running from the back parking lot all the way up to here, which is a good 800, almost 1,600 meters from here.
Here's a ball sent in off the left foot of a Panther player. Nobody there to collect it. Pelche and Emmerich clear it out.
It's up to Smith. Smith able to get it to Dunn. Dunn through ball for a shot. He is onside.
Can he keep it in?
No, he cannot. Good attempt there. Good rush.
Yeah. That was a mishit by Panther. Shot's going to get the ball, maybe
and
not.
And he is
fouled.
Pushed and fouled down.
And that is just inside the box. If you look at that yellow line right there,
they are calling him outside the ball. Outside.
Okay. That is about as close as you can get to not being in the box.
That is a blade of grass away.
So we're going to have a direct kick.
And he is asking for 10. And he's telling the NoPo, yeah, you got to get back. Back it up. Back it up. There we go. Gets him on 10.
So was that a 3-man wall over there?
Yes, they look like a 3-man wall. One peeled off to go mark someone. Shot. Takes a direct shot in.
Oh, look at that. That was a beautiful shot by Shot. He went near side right to the goalie. Got it right under him.
And it looked like the keeper was playing the open side and thought he had his wall aligned. Apparently, Alex thought, saw a better line just on the inside of it. So that makes it 4-0.
Goal, Alex Shot.
So asked Clark about the postseason and how this season has gone. And he talked to us about the fact that it's been, the team is a high-scoring team for the most part most of this season. But he knows that cannot be their identity going into the playoffs. He said to me that defense wins championships, and a characteristic that has probably gone unnoticed is the hard work and improvement that they've done on the defensive side of the game. So he said their backline and goalkeeper have quietly given up only 15 goals in 16 games, and the team has recorded 8 clean sheets going into this game.
Which is a really nice statistic.
He said they're going to be focusing going into the playoffs on emphasizing solid defense alignments and shape, as they're more likely to see lower scoring games. And they need to be able to win those 1-0 games rather than a shootout. And he said defense almost always wins championships, and their last district title in 2016 was won by another high-scoring team. But we had to lean into our defense heavily, he said, throughout those playoffs. And they beat Brockway by a score of 2-0, where they were outshot in that game 21-2.
I was there for that game,
and those 2 goals, I was talking to Mr. Lawton before the game. He said those 2 goals were both shot outside the box, and they were the only 2 shots, and they both went in.
And there was so much pressure that Brockway brought that game that it definitely showed that defense is definitely what won the game.
So that's what the coach Clark shared with me earlier today, and I thought that was great insights, and I appreciate him giving us that information and his view on what they're going to have to do going into the playoffs. I also talked to Mr. Lawton before the game, and he said the game before that in 2016 was against ECC, and that was a pretty wild game too. They went, if I can recall right, I may be wrong, my memory's passing me at 52 here, but it was a 1-0 game for the Gators, and then ECC came back, tied it up, Then they eventually went up 2-1. And then with 5 minutes left, I want to say, I think Mr. Lawton said, we had a big through ball over the top, and we got a goal with 5 minutes left to tie that game up. And it went into overtime, double overtime, and then went into a shootout. In that shootout, the ECC missed their first 3 attempts, I believe Mr. Lawton said. And one of our shooters in that game that made his PK was, or shootout there, was a senior that didn't really play in the games, but he had an amazing PK shot where he shot it on the outside of his foot. And it went in. And the Gators were victorious, and that's how they got to that final game against Brockway, was that overtime shootout win.
Yep, and we got a corner coming up as we've been giving these details out. Yeah, those games are really good and really fun to watch. And I've been around the program not nearly as long as Coach Lawton and Coach Clark, but it's definitely been an experience to see the program go. And Dunn was able to collect it. Shot was blocked by NoPo defender. Funk, quick throw to Smith. Smith taps it back to Funk. Nice possession game there. Up to Shot. Shot able to thread around. It gets pushed down. No call. Play on.
So as Potter works this up to midfield, you talk about this program coming along, Dan. Look at this year. Look at these 2 soccer teams. We didn't even have a soccer team, back in the early 2010s or so, right? So this year you're going to have both your fall soccer team, boys and girls, going to the playoffs. They both have clinched playoff spots. And then you've got your volleyball team, which is also going to be going to the playoffs and having a great season with only 2 losses, I believe. And you've got our football team,
which is currently ranked number 1 in our division.
With one of the best running backs in the nation.
That's right.
So I know they say the year of the Gator was, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I didn't live here back then, but 1987, I believe, is what they said.
Something around that time frame. I wasn't here either.
But I tell you what, as far as fall season with 4 teams going to the playoffs, a girls soccer team, a boys soccer team, a volleyball team, and a football team, for me in my lifetime here living in Port Allegany, and golf, we got a player, Levi Howard. Levi Howard is going to states, and that is, I believe it's the 21st and 22nd, and he'll be playing at the Blue Course in Penn State.
Yeah, so we have a lot of success right now in the fall sports. So it'll be the next few weeks will definitely be interesting to see how the fall sports line up.
It's a good thing I don't have any hair, because I think I'd be pulling it out with the amount of broadcasting we're going to have to do once the brackets do come out and we see what we're up for.
And we'll be back and forth traveling. We may have to split our system up.
Well, here's the thing, Dan, too. I went back and looked at the 2 last year's brackets for all these fall sports, right? So I saw that the girls, the girls didn't make the playoffs last year, but the playoff bracket started the 23rd of October. The volleyball started the 23rd of October. And the boys' first round, what they call quarterfinals for the boys, they call first round in soccer and volleyball, but in football it's quarterfinals is the first round. And that was on November 3rd. And that year, Red Bank got a bye last year. And right now the Gators are sitting in that bye spot. So we could be looking at, we don't even have a home game for the first round quarterfinals for the Gators. And if I'm not mistaken, the semis are played in a neutral for football.
Yes, they are.
So we may be on the road immediately in our first game, potentially, for football.
It's possible. And, right now, as you said, all these teams have qualified for playoffs. We've clinched a spot. But now the fight is actually to not sit back on their heels, because now we got to fight for their actual position in those playoffs. So there is no relaxation, just thinking, oh, yeah, we can get by. with what we've done and who we got coming up. You can never look past the next game. So they definitely have still got a big fight to come forward.
The girls are first in their I think they're in the north side, and they only got 4 teams in that division of the girls soccer team, and that would be Kane, it would be Ridgeway, and ECC. Believe it or not, they've not even played ECC yet this year. They play them back-to-back on the 14th and 15th. So they still have 2 division games left next week against ECC before you can start to look at where they fall. But in that D9 soccer, that Karn City, who won the D9 district last year, is a tough team. Those girls, and they got a lot of their players came back. So that's definitely a team to look out for if our Gators can get through the season. Panthers with a shot. It went wide left. They want to say it went off a Gator, but the referee is calling a goal kick, I believe.
Yes, they are. Yeah, there was a nice little 1-2 passing because they got it away from Kaiser. And were able to connect and have a nice through ball coming in. But it just...
So Mr. Lawton was just telling me the Karn City girls soccer program, they have won 22 of the last 25 district titles. So that's one heck of a program there, Karn City.
Definitely. That is not something to sneeze at.
I, for one, wouldn't be upset if they became a 2A school.
So as the Gators collect it up, try to look for a through ball, and it's kicked out of bounds at the referee. The referee had a nice little dodge there.
Yeah, and it's black ball. They're going to have some substitutions here. Nance goes out. Smith comes back in. And Brock Marsiglio comes in for James. We got a 4-0 game with just under 25 minutes left in the
A little
match.
miscommunication there. Kaiser thought Smith was throwing it someplace else, and Kaiser just didn't play the ball. And NoPo's capitalizing on that as they're sending up most of their players and attacking forward. Trying to get around our defensive corner and
Got a collision down there.
Collides.
No call.
Yeah. Emmerich able to get back up. I think it was just shocked that it
Potter keeps it in bounds, but nobody there to collect it up other than the Gators. Brock Marsiglio mishit there. Goes back to the Panthers.
Kessler clears it out. NoPo trying to collect it. Does. Brock Marsiglio mishits it. NoPo is playing really good possession ball, trying to keep the ball up in the attacking third.
You got to start to think this far up north if maybe the soccer team should have a standard equipment of gloves.
You would think.
Start to play in these temperatures at the end of the year.
Although
Or the end of the season, I should say.
I take a little different approach to that because I played in northern Maine.
Well, you also wore very thick cushion gloves because you were a goalie, Dan.
Yes, that is true. What didn't make it any less cold, though. NoPo trying to make a run for it. Kessler kicks out of bounds. The ball boy will take a little bit of a time to get that one. That cleared the fence. Then we got some substitutes coming in. They opt to go short with it. Looks for a cross.
It's going to send a shot all the go more like a ball, cross ball all the way through. It clears out of bounds. So
NoPo had a chance there. They had a player running that back post. Just keeps attacking that outside wing.
They tried a nice ball in, but Trey Kaiser jumped in front of that. That was a nice defensive play, and then Funk clears it out.
Defense clears the 18.
Nice shot.
Nice
Clark
save
with a beautiful save.
with the
Diving
right hand.
save by Clark. Goes out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for the Panthers. They're going to try to hurry this up. What a save by Clark.
Really nice save. Through ball.
Ooh, Clark's second guess coming out on that. They got another shot. They're getting some pressure on. They're going to call it out of bounds goal kick coming up for the Gators.
Yeah, Clark was a little
hesitant on that one.
Well, he also thought that two of his players were actually going to get it.
Yeah.
They kept threatening. They kept missing the ball.
That's where you got to talk, right?
Yes, they do.
But, boy, that first save was something. I wish I would have hit the replay button. I got too excited about it. That'll happen with me from time to time if you ever heard me announce.
Smith tries to get it up to Kistler. Gets deflected down by Potter. Funk collects it.
He tried to send a ball up to Shelley up the right wing. Causer steps in front of that. He'll send a ball up the right-hand side.
They're able to collect it all again.
Panthers had something going there, Dan.
Oh, definitely. They're starting to connect in a little click. Smith with a slide, clean, according to the officials. It goes out of bounds and throw in. And there's a push.
I don't know if the ref saw that or not. He did.
Yeah.
That is a direct push by Derek Smith in the back of the Panthers player.
That is dangerous because that could have been called
intentional.
Yeah, intentional, which would have been
not playing the ball at all. Yeah, he got away with one there, I think, as far as the card.
Clark comes out.
So the Panthers got 20 minutes left in this first half.
They definitely have their chances.
Or second half, sorry. Second half. Just under 20 minutes. Appreciate those of you tuning in tonight. We also appreciate all these fans that came out for senior night for the boys tonight. We expect to see a lot of you out here tomorrow night also, where the girls will have their senior night. Girls are playing 2 New York teams this year on the schedule. Four New York teams on the schedule this year. So that's a first I think I've seen. But I am also one that is not too sad about not seeing Bradford.
Bradford's had a particular run recently. They actually have a couple really nice, talented players right now for the girls. They have a talented freshman that I know of, I believe, Mangold, that I've seen in action. She was in the corporate cups too, I believe, or she's maybe a sophomore.
They had at least 4 in that Gold Cup girls that are there, and all deservingly so.
Yes.
They also have a good defensive line there. My daughter plays club soccer with a few of those girls there at Bradford, but they've had a great program for years.
Yes, they have. Funk clears it, collects it, and clears it up. Try to through ball to Dunn. Chased down by 2 NoPo players, out of bounds.
I graduated from a 6A school down in York, Pennsylvania, Dan, with a very large graduating class, so I had to adapt to this 1A environment here.
Same here. I graduated from...
I've learned to appreciate the challenges that you have in a 1A district when it comes to sports.
Oh, definitely. I graduated from what would be classified as a 4A school level, and it's definitely a different change of pace to come down here to see the 1A schools. NoPo opts to go short. Tries to thread it around Port. Shot is able to track it all the way back and steal it. Through ball to Dunn.
And he overlaps inside. Dunn's
Dunn
got a mega player. Oh, that went off Shot's hand, but they're going to call that unintentional. His hand was down by his side. Shot by James.
That was a quick shot. Keeper
able to gather that up.
I've always had a chuckle when calling games that Alex Schott's been playing in. Because whenever he shoots, I have to say, shot, take a shot.
Yeah, I think you'll hear one of those if you watch our pregame video that we launched, that we just put together a couple weeks ago and start every broadcast with. You'll see Schott taking a shot during that video. Mr. Dan Schott is the assistant coach for the boys varsity team.
Big throw up the line to Dunn. Tries to pull it back, but is poked out. And Funk calls for it, gets it, collects it. Tries to find an opportunity, tries to go back to Smith, misses that. Kaiser tries to get back to Funk. Funk redirects it off his chest shoulder. A little miscommunication there from Allegany, as there are two players standing right next to each other. Kaiser tracks it down, or Kistler.
It's never too late in the season to still have things to work on, Dan. And,
always.
Especially as you're going into the playoffs, so there's always room for improvement. And competition's going to get much stiffer, especially for these Port Allegany boys, because they've had a couple games. They had to play St. Mary's. The boys from St. Mary's gave them a good game, and St. Mary's ended up winning that, I believe it was 3-1 in that game. So I thought that was a good test midseason.
No, definitely. Illustrated some shortcomings and definitely showed that the Gators were not invincible.
Pelche just carries that up out of the back. Is that Pelche? Or?
Yeah, that's Pelche.
Yeah.
And he was carrying it all the way up. One thing the Gators have been definitely doing is swapping. So when a defender like Pelche carries the ball up, they tell him just to keep going with it, and someone fills their spot to make sure that the defense is not in a disadvantage. And NoPo
kicked out of bounds, so it's going to have a corner kick coming up.
And just, I don't know if they were trying to think they were going to clear it out or it was a misclear.
So let's see how they set up for this. You got Schott taking it. It looks like is it going to be Dunn taking it, and Schott's going to play short. And then you got nobody by the keeper. Usually you had Funk stand there. Now Smith comes in late. And then you got Kaiser running in. Kaiser almost gets to him. And he had Kisler fall down there. It just goes by him. Not a bad corner by Schott. There was an opportunity there.
Missed knee from NoPo over to Dunn. Goes to the outside. Tries to get around. And another corner kick. I don't know. It looked to my eyes that it went off of Port Allegany. But once again, I am a good 60 yards away.
And I would always give the benefit of the doubt to our first-year referee over there, Shannon Yeager.
Definitely. Shot.
Ball's
dribbler
low on the ground.
And NoPo on the attack.
There was no transition ability there because everybody was up in the box.
Because the Gators looked like they sent
Kaiser's calling for it. He gets it. He lets it go by.
Oh, and
it's going to be a throw-in, or are we going to have a free kick here? I think it's just a throw-in. Just throw-in.
Yep, just a throw-in. To James. James trying to make something of it. Touches the ball out.
He's been getting a lot of minutes lately since the injury to Austin Hamilton also.
Yeah, it's definitely an opportunity.
Duke Shelley comes in for Kaiser, and Northern Potter makes a couple substitutions. We're just about at 12 minutes in the second half. We got a 4-0 game.
And we got a whistle because they had to wait for everyone to get off of the field.
So if you're not subscribed to Gator Network, please do subscribe. And I'd like to give a big shout-out to To all the Gator Network volunteers, I'd also like to give a shout out to our athletic director and the boys varsity coach, Mr. Aaron Clark, and to our administration and school board, which enable us to do these broadcasts.
Also, if you haven't subscribed and you do hit that subscribe button, also hit the that little notification bell. That will alert you when we actually do go live, which is actually quite frequently.
Sometimes we don't even know when we're going live until we go live.
Yeah, that's right. Funk crosses it over to James. A little bit hard cross. Dunn slips on this grass. I think the football team chewed it up a little too much. Pelche tried to collect it.
We're going to be bringing some pretty cool stuff to you on the Gator Network this season, or this calendar year, next calendar year. We're going to have some drone operation going on. We have people getting licensed on a drone that we have that has 3 cameras on that drone. We're going to get some excellent footage from up top. Think about that for football and soccer, what type of footage with a drone we can get.
Oh, definitely. We have some remote control cameras for a basketball.
Yeah, we're going to have what's called pan tilt zoom camera, PTZ cameras, and they will be NDI cameras. And they'll be hooked up in our gymnasium, and it'll allow us to have multicam operations in our gym with only 1 camera operator.
And we got a foul. And got a yellow card on Smith. And he has to come out for 5 minutes.
Over here they did. JT called it. So we have a stoppage of time here, right around 10 minutes. We'll have a card for Smith, and Potter will get a free kick here from football field, 40-yard line. Just remember, on these football fields, the goalposts sit on the very back line, so it's an additional 20 yards total across the field, 10 yards in each end zone. So you may hear us from time to time say the shot's from the 30, but it's not actually a 30-yard shot. It's actually a 40-yard shot.
It's also a little, this field's also a little narrower than our normal field. And it looks like the Gators have transitioned to a 4-5-1 to pull back and have a little more defense, as the Panthers have been sending a little bit more offense into our area. And the rain is coming back down again. Kind of really thanking Jeremy Morey for taking that job up there tonight for me.
Still searching for one of our volunteers to help tomorrow night. We could use some help if any of you volunteers are listening, the certified and approved volunteers. And if you're interested in volunteering on the Gator Network, please do let us know. There's a process that has to be followed, some certification and approval.
But it's not really all that difficult, though.
It's not. And we're willing to teach people anything you want to learn, whether it's play-by-play or color commentary, whether it's camera work, whether it's audio engineering, whether it's the video production side of it, whatever you want to learn. And we'd love to have students. So any students listening in from Port Allegany who want to participate in the broadcast, please do let us know. Mr. Barantini at the school is gathering the names for any kids that are interested in getting the drone license. You do have to be 16 years old to get a Part 107 FAA license. But I couldn't think of anything cooler if I was a kid in high school to be able to learn how to fly a drone.
Yeah, well, not just that, but just to play with the drone. What are you talking about? There's a real-life video game that you're dealing with right there. And it's not a toy that you get to play, that you have to worry about.
And this isn't one of those tiny little drones you see either. This is a full-size drone.
Causer throws it up to Schott. It touches out again.
I guess I'll spill a little bit more while we have a little dead time here about the broadcast going forward. You're also going to see things around the replay that improve. First of all, you're going to see clear graphics that identify that we're in a replay versus a live shot. And also you'll know when you're back live. You're going to be able to see views from any angle, not just the replay of whatever camera view that we're playing at that time. In football, we sometimes run 4+ cameras. And one camera may have a better view than another camera. Today, we can only replay back to you whatever was on the program at that time of the live broadcast. But now we're going to be able to replay back to you whatever was the best camera angle for that replay. And we'll be able to play it back to you in different speeds too. So we can play it at 3/4 speeds, full speed, and so on. So some cool stuff coming your way on the Gator Network.
Definitely getting some nice toys. The other thing is a little more protection up top for our cameras.
We're getting some rain gear and everything for the cameras, and getting some mobile, storage capability so we can hit the road and do some of these broadcasts on the road.
And last 2 weeks has been our first road broadcast, which have been really fantastic. A couple of technical difficulties last week, but
network-wise, yeah.
Yeah, network-wise, but we're able to work past them. But definitely right now it's a learning experience still for us. This is only our 4th year in streaming? And it's definitely progressed from just being in the fall teams to now it's football, soccer, any sport really.
Bocce.
Yeah, they include bocce.
Baseball.
Funk able to knock it around a few times to break up NoPo's attack. Gators get it outside. It's really interesting to see how NoPo's got a big bunch in the middle, but you see black jerseys on the outside. You don't see any black jerseys on the inside, which just shows where they're attacking from. Funk lets it go through to Causer. Causer shakes a man, gets over to Kaiser. Kaiser touches a little strong outside. 5 minutes left.
5 minutes left in the match, 4-0 game. I think the Gators look content for it to end that way. But I know they would like to get another clean sheet.
They would.
So instead of 8, let's have 9 clean sheets. But I hope I didn't talk too early there, and I will knock on whatever material this is.
And I know Aiden Clark really likes the clean sheets. Now, once again, keep in mind, folks, the time you see on is not the official time. Even the time on the scoreboard is not the official time. The official time is actually kept on the field. While ours is as close as humanly possible, it's a pretty good guess. Causer into Funk. Funk, long through ball, up the wing, trying to get it up to Dunn. Dunn had come back in a support position. It was a little too far away to assist that. But he is able to steal it away. Looking for help. Not seeing any runners. Sees Kistler. Kistler loses track of it. And NoPo tries to throw a crossover. Goes out of bounds for a Gator throw-in. Causer looking for someone. Gives it a heave up the field. Potter County chooses to cross it all the way across. Schott is tracking it down from one side of the field to the other. I have been impressed with Schott's fitness level this year. He has just skyrocketed through it. I'm just wondering if he's going to keep that fitness level through track, because I can see maybe a 2-miler going in there for him.
He's crazy quick, and it's almost effortless for him. At least it looks like, and he's always been quite a good soccer player. His touches and everything, and he's worked on it since he was a young lad. I remember watching him across the street at his grandfather's house, playing in a big yard there with my daughter, and he was working on it. in elementary school grade levels. So he's been working on a long time. He goes to the summer camps and everything, and he studies the game. He's got
Yes, he
great
does.
soccer IQ.
And I kind of wonder what the coaches told him after his 8th grade year, because he was a goalkeeper for me when that happened.
And a good one.
Yes, he was. But no, he went ahead and his 7th grade year. In his 8th grade year, he turned into a striker. And then look at him now.
I still think he's an emergency goalkeeper here, but I think he's more third string goalkeeper. That was a hard hit over there.
Yep. And
No
call.
call. And shot's got a break on goal. He's going to get there. He gets a touch, and then he shoots it off the post. Went right off that left post there. He'd like to take that back.
Yeah, definitely.
He had a sweet touch underneath the goalie.
And stop of clock.
Stop a clock here.
Not sure what's the call here.
The ref's going to come out and talk to Owen Kisler. Might have had a warning or something there.
I would say some sort of verbal warning.
And we'll have a throw-in coming up for the Gators.
Shot gets it back to Dunn. Dunn looking for runs.
I've had a few conversations with some of the PIAA refs as we get towards the end of the season, and a lot of what maybe these kids were getting away with, or even the coaches on the sideline to start the year, it's not going to be tolerated as we get closer to the playoffs. So
Yeah, the rules tighten up a little bit more. Play gets a little cleaner.
and all the warnings have been dished out.
And that
Goal kick?
Yeah, goal kick. Even though
1 minute and 10 seconds left approximately.
players thought it was a corner, but going with a goal kick.
So I don't know how many hat tricks Shot has this year, but I know he has a few.
Yes, I know he has a few.
For those of you that don't know what a hat trick is, and I doubt there's that many of you that don't, it is 3 goals in a game. There's different terms for 2-goal game, 1-goal game, 3-goal games, etc. But a hat trick's pretty commonly known because you're familiar with ice hockey. 3 goals in a game.
Shot over to James. Deflected, goes out of bounds for a corner.
And in case you wanted to know what 2 goals in a game is called, it's called a brace.
Actually, I didn't even know that. Oh. Learning a whole bunch of soccer facts tonight.
There you go. That's the end of the match. The Port Allegany Gators come away with a victory 4-0. We thank the Panthers for coming on out here to Port Allegany tonight. And we wish the Gators well as they move on throughout the season. They only have one more game coming up for the boys, and that'll be against ECC on the 14th in St. Mary's. Tomorrow night, please join us at 6 p.m. for the girls' varsity Gator soccer and their senior night as they face off with Bolivar right here. Same bat channel, same bat time. Thanks again for joining us on the broadcast tonight. And Mr. Dan Funk, thank you. And
Same here. Thank you. And have a good night, everyone.
Signing off.